Hello viewers, new and old, I'm Rodders and this is On The Bridle, specifically our racing news episode which covers everything that's happened in the last 2 weeks of National Hunt racing and racing in general. Plus, we've brought back questions from the crowd just in time for Cheltenham. So come along viewers, as we have the racing news off with Steel Ally. Now at the start of the season, me and Sam Thomas had an interview where he said Steel Ally and Lump Sum were his two best chasing prospects. What foresight Sam Thomas has, because those are exactly the two horses that have flown the flag for his base this season. This was Steel Ally winning the Kingmaker Chase at Warwick. I believe the next port of call will be the Arkle, but Sam, I'm sorry to say, I think he's just going to be an auto run.
Mambo number 5 is well beaten back in third, and today Mambo number 5 is going to have to dance to the beat of Steel Ally, who's forging clear to win the Kingmaker and make it 3 out of 3 over fences.
I love any horse who keeps coming back season after season, and Dino Blue indeed does that. She's now a 9-year-old and she's won a plethora of races. Last time she almost took the last fence with her. This time it was a more polished display of jumping. I think she'll go off favourite for the Mayor's Chase at the Cheltenham Festival, and I think she's got a rip-roaring chance of winning that race again.
From Jeté Port, and with one fence left, it is Dino Blue, has the measure of bioluminescence, and over the last she goes. It is Dino Blue up the hill inside the final 200 yards in the BBA Ireland Opera Hat Mayor's Chase. It is Dino Blue completing an uncomplicated task in the Opera Hat as she wins back-to-back runnings for Mark Walsh, Willie Mullins.
On the last episode of the Racing News, I said that Sober Glory would win this race without actually knowing the result. I'm glad to say he did exactly that, and he did it quite impressively as well. The second Cadastral looked like he was looming up behind until Harry Cobden said, "Go on, son," and Sober Glory strayed away in his own time. I've said it once and I'll say it again, this horse is going to be a mighty force over fences next year. And like I said in a previous episode of the Racing News, the stable think he is a real superstar of the future. Keep an eye on him wherever he goes next season.
He's got away again, Sober Glory, and the gap's now 4 lengths and getting bigger, if anything, on the run towards the 8th and final hurdle. It's Sober Glory at the last. He clears it safely and well. He was very fluent. Over in second, Cadastral is now well held. Last round looks booked for third. He pops over that safely. He's clear of Laplander running on best of the rest, but Sober Glory is going to win this in great style for Harry Cobden, Brocade Racing, Philip Hobson, Johnson.
Right, it's time to give you my 2 cents on Lulamba. I still think he's a 2.5 miler to 3 miler. He jumps like that. He travels like that. And talking about jumping, his jumping was lurchy, and that's the best description I've got. Lurchy. 1 or 2 of those jumps that he put in earlier on in this race, a lesser horse would have been down on the ground. There was particularly one, I think it was about 4 out, where he skewed in the air. That will get him absolutely nowhere in the Arkle, and I don't think he's going to get anywhere near Kopek de Board.
He heads towards the 13th and final fence. It is Lulamba by about 4 lengths to a rallying Son Segal. Lulamba is over. Jumped that well. Son Segal in second. Liberty Hunter in third. And then comes Calico, but Lulamba really warmed to his task in the jumping stakes. He's now clear by about 7 lengths, and he'll retain his unbeaten record over fences. It is Lulamba who'll go to Cheltenham as a big player, all right. He wins for Nicky Henderson and Nico de Boydville. Lulamba wins the Game Spirit Chase. Son Segal.
Haute won the Denman Chase, beating Le Homme Press. This was not a very good race, if I'm going to be honest. Le Homme Press is 11 now, and he's way past it. Haute has won a Welsh Grand National this year, but he was horribly exposed when he went to the Betfair Chase, and people will make excuses for that, but I still think he has no place in a Gold Cup. He is more of a Grand National horse all day long.
Absences towards the stand side, trying to get some momentum going as they head down towards the 18th and final fence. Haiti Couleur has about a 4-length advantage over L'Empresse in second. Here's the last. Haiti Couleur jumps it well. L'Empresse out to the left. He now looks tired in second, and leave of absence is held back in third, and Haiti Couleur is staying on strongly on the run for home. He's clear by 5 or 6 lengths. He will win again for Rebecca Curtis and Sean Bowen. Haiti Couleur, great display of galloping. He wins the Denman Chase. Haiti Couleur, he's a class act.
Staffordshire Knot is not really a horse I've ever fallen in love with. I think he's a bit of a plodder, if I'm going to be honest. But that doesn't stop me handing out praise when achievements are actually met, because he could have thrown a towel in on 3 separate occasions up the straight, and he didn't. He kept going, and he was determined to reach the front. So well done, Gordon Elliott, and well done, Staffordshire Knot.
on the run to the final flight. Maxim still holding the aces, but bearing down Staffordshire Knot. Better days ahead on the inner. Approaching the final flight in the Boyne Hurdle. It's Maxim not lying down Staffordshire Knot, and Staffordshire Knot jumped into the lead, losing a Roncy, and Staffordshire Knot is toughing it out up the hill. From better days ahead, Maxim can't give any more, and Staffordshire Knot resumes winning ways in the Boyne Hurdle.
Oscar's brother threw in a very nice performance here, but I think the talking point of this race will be the fact that JP McManus will be striking Mark Walsh off of his Christmas card list for his ride on the Walled Park, which almost certainly, and it's confirmed today, rules him out of the Cheltenham Festival. Mark Walsh, I think, may have done this on purpose as a final farewell to his old boss. As the old saying goes, revenge is a dish best served ice cold, and he certainly did that.
And then Gold Dancer and the Wall Park, 2 out. Oscar's brother over from Western Walk, who slightly ran down the fence. In third is Gold Dancer on the run towards the last. In the 10-up novice chase, and it's Oscar's brother at this stage, keeping the other 3 at bay. Oscar's brother is showing great resolve over the last, has been in front from the very start. Western Walk second, the Wall Park runs on into third ahead of Gold Dancer, but it is Oscar's brother. So impressive here for the King brothers, with the Wall Park finishing off best for...
Now, it's a very unusual move that we're making here by featuring a point-to-pointer in the racing news, but this lad, County Prospect, is definitely one worth noting down in your notebooks. He will go for an extraordinary sum of money at the Cheltenham Sales after the Cheltenham Festival. But can any of you folks guess what kind of price he'll be going for? Put it in the comment section below.
Fence before the turn in, and it is County Prospect from Soledor, who's towards the outside. Matudi Le Colmine continues to close. Crystal Spectre the inside. Break to Chief Joseph. This is the second last. County Prospect again jumping's the advantage and goes on a length. Soledor is now giving chase, but the leader's quickened up now in front. County Prospect has gone on by 3 to 4 or more. In second is Soledor, Matudi Le Colmine and Crystal Spectre as they turn towards the final fence, and it is County Prospect who leads them into the straight from Soledor in second. They're clear from Crystal Spectre, but lengthening towards the final one in the Golf Circle Sale maiden race for 4-year-old. It is County Prospect who comes to it by a wide margin at the last. County Prospect over the last with plenty in hand. Soledor and Crystal Spectre are next, but an impressive performance here in the opener by County Prospect, who wins this in good style. Takes the opener for Brian Lawless back in second. Winners ease down. Crystal Spectre will pick up the second. Third will go to Matudi.
This was a very pleasing debut by La Tosca de Who. Nicky Richards is no stranger to winning bumpers up north. He usually wins them here at Ayr, Newcastle, Kelso and Doncaster. She looked very good, La Tosca de Who, but I will put a word of warning in for Gal Machette. Anyone that backs this horse is going to be broken-hearted, because she set off like a 5-furlong sprinter and she was ripping Ben Sutton's arms out of their sockets. She is one to firmly avoid for the rest of her career.
Machette for places, but into the final furlong, and it is La Tosca de Who in front, and Nicky Richards, no stranger to the winners' enclosure here at Ayr. La Tosca de Who is well clear. La Tosca de Who in the hands of Sean Quinlan wins very nice.
This is going to be the controversial point of this video, where I say that this was good riding by Patrick Mullins. He used a part of the all-weather gallop on the side of the course that was meant for the ambulance, and it was good ground there, which gained the horse extra lengths every time he went onto it versus the heavy ground that he was racing on. This is tactical race riding. You don't get freebies in horse racing. You have to make your own luck. Patrick Mullins certainly did that. He is a class amateur. And to call him actually an amateur is a bit of a misnomer. He is no amateur at all.
And then Gildan, who's followed then by Hezekiah Moscow, tailing off as Alzo's Thunder. Further away is Of Land and Sea, heads up to the final 4.5 furlongs. Out in front of Jury Time, a reminder for Prince Melinas in third, and then Gildan is running on the inside of that third one, Prince Melinas, and Burning Ability has dropped out tamely. But it is Of Land and Sea. Out in front, running round the home turn from Jury Time, and Gildan is trying to stay on into third, followed by Prince Melinas, turning in with 2.5 furlongs to go, and it is Of Land and Sea, followed by Jury Time and Gildan, racing to the final 2 furlongs, and it is Of Land and Sea continuing clear from Jury Time in second. In third place is Gildan. On towards the final furlong, it is Of Land and Sea and Patrick Mullins maintaining their lead, and it's a sizable one over Jury Time in second, followed then by Galan and well inside the final furlong. The last race of the day, the EBF Auction Pro-Am bumper. It is Of Land and Sea, making virtually all for Paul Hennessy. Guided home to victory by Patrick Mullins. Of Land and Sea wins by big margin.
The loving with Patrick Mullins is in full flow because he won here on Statler, who is an old stager, but he's a lovable old stager. He got beat in his first hunter chase at Hereford due to lack of fitness, but he really came on well here. It's a pity the rules have changed for hunter chases and you're starting to see less and less quality horses running them, but this fella over the Grand National fences in the Aintree Fox Hunters would certainly dance the fandango, as they say.
Then Fix It All, the stamina now really kicking in for Statler. He's gone about 6 lengths clear from Hollywood Harmon up towards the final fence. It's Statler and Patrick Mullins. Oh, took a bit of a chance, but he's over. Freya Dahmer's pulled up before the final fence. Hollywood Harmon is over in second, but Statler is in front. And he's going to win this at the end by a good 6 lengths. Statler and Patrick Mullins can tick Fakenham off his list.
At the start of the season, Menlager was one of the first horses on this channel that we mentioned that you should follow throughout the season. She got beat on debut, but that was down to fitness more than class. She came on a whole bundle here, winning at Haydock, and there's a possibility you might see her in a handicap at the Cheltenham Festival.
In between the final 2 hurdles, the far side Pourquoi, Papa, Menlager drawing level as they run towards the final furlong and the final flight. Menlager by a fraction to Pourquoi, Papa. The pair are clear. Menlager lads ahead over the last. 100 yards left to go. The filly Menlager coming away from Pourquoi, Papa, and Menlager takes the Victor Ladorum for Nicky Henderson and Brian.
The Kingwell Hurdle is a premier race at Wincanton amongst 1 or 2 others, but this race was appalling in standard. I've got to say it, and I've got to tell you the truth when I see it, but how this race was considered a Grade 2 is beyond me. The winner is nothing more than a glorified handicapper. Rhuboard is a listed animal. Secret Squirrel is nothing more than a handicapper as well, and the last horse might as well have not turned up. Now, folks, I don't actually mean to be negative, but if this is a standard of the graded races in the UK, it is no wonder the Irish are beating us hands down at the Cheltenham Festival every year.
Rhubo, as they come to the last, he has a good look at it. He's over in front. Rhubo, though, battling on mightily well towards the near side. It's just in front of Alexi, though, by a length or so. He's having a good look at the crowd as he goes on to win the Kingwell Hurdle. Alexi home in front, Rhubo in second.
Why do people love the racing news, I hear you ask? Well, it is a source of winners upon winners upon winners. An unexpected party featured in the previous episode of the racing news, and this was him up at Haydock securing the Walrus Hunter Chase, which is one of the big hunter chases in the season, and he will now go to either Cheltenham or Aintree.
His take all, Good Boy Bobby has dropped to 4th. Unexpected Party in a clear lead, coming to the second last, going with tremendous enthusiasm. Unexpected Party clear by 6 or 7. Shearer in second. Take all is in third, running down towards the 18th and final fence here. Unexpected Party steadied into it and jumps it beautifully, clear by 7 or 8 lengths. Take all and Shearer having a good battle for second, just nudged out here Unexpected Party, and this has been a tremendous display from the 11-year-old former festival winner. Unexpected Party takes the Walrus in dominant.
No, I won't say a lot about him Perrat Pass because he features in the video tomorrow, but what I will say is he showed a nice turn of acceleration from the last fence to the line. He also took this fence home with him, so that's an added bonus.
In between them, about to be squeezed out, Buddy One and then Unbridled Pass. Heading for the second last. Classic Getaway, Saffaware, a mistake. Classic Getaway, Unbridled Pass the far side, and Saffaware has gone to the front from Classic Getaway and Unbridled Pass the final fence, and it's Saffaware the leader. On the run in from Unbridled Pass trying to close, and then Classic Getaway. Saffaware on the far side. Unbridled Pass has gunned him down. Unbridled.
It's quite rare that I sit back and admire a horse's jumping, but with the Jukebox Kid, I did exactly that with this performance. This horse can really jump, and he lines one up from a very long way out. I do love the way he goes about his job, and there was only one thing I was thinking about when I was watching this race. Welsh Grand National.
Who's not making much of an impression. One more fence to go here. The Jukebox Kid has got a 3-length cushion on the others. Over the last, he flew over that, didn't he? And it looks as though he's going to be landing the odds here in some style. The Jukebox Kid is powering clear by about 5 or 6 lengths, and it's going to be a quick double for Ben Jones and Ben Pauling. The Jukebox Kid wins the Reynolds Tap.
I think it's fair to say that John Bond deserves a sing-along every time he enters the racetrack. So here we go, folks. For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us. That was so good, I'm going to put that on Spotify. Putting my catastrophic singing aside, he is a magnificent racehorse, and he also features in our video tomorrow. So be sure to tune into that one, folks.
Under pressure, here's the final fence now. John Bond just in front from Pictory. He's up by about half a length. Make that 3/4 of a length. Pictory, though, is beginning to rally on the run-in, but John Bond picks up again, and it's John Bond's Betfair Ascot Chase, a 12th Grade 1, beats...
This has been the Wise Guys horse all season. He's on fire. He run 3 times in France, and he's come over to Willie Mullins. Now, unfortunately for the Wise Guys, he needs to have run 5 times to get into a Cheltenham handicap, and he has not achieved that, so thus he will not be going to Cheltenham. It's been mentioned that he could go to Aintree, he could go to Punchestown, and he could also go to Ferryhouse. So don't cry yet, Wise Guys, there's still an opportunity.
There took that hurdle in his stride, and on the run in, he's on fire, has cruised into a very nice advantage. Good run though from the Dog Thief on his hurdles racecourse debut, and the Dog Thief an honourable 2nd place, and that one in turn well clear of Passing Diamond. So it is one for the Ritchie team, Willie and Patrick Mullins, and he's on fire. They're very impressed.
Before you ring curries in the morning claiming your TV fell off the wall, let me explain why I'm showing you French Friction. Because this horse is trained by Mark Cass, who happens to be the best trainer in Canada, and I reckon at some point you're going to see this filly in the Breeders' Cup.
The shoulder, that's all she needs to stay busy, and she's clear by 5 by 6. French Friction looking like a star today. She's 2 for 2 big wins.
Continuing our theme with American horse racing, particularly American dirt racing, this is Galinda. Galinda has run twice, she's won twice. Both those races have been impressive, so if you're into American dirt racing, definitely note her down in your notebook.
From 4 out of it, Purple Divine, but no catching Galinda. 2nd career start, and Galinda is going to be dazzling here in victory and win the Eastview in dominant fashion.
It wouldn't be the racing news if we didn't have the obligatory Godolphin horse. This is Into the Light. His mum was a 2-miler. His dad was Dubawi. I think he's going to get a lot further than this. This is over 1.25 miles, and he's seen off the favourite as soon as the favourite come flashing towards him.
Far side, and Into the Light is going to make a winning debut for Conor Planas, Godolphin and Charlie Appleby.
Forever Young went across for the 2nd time and won the Saudi Cup. Now I'm going to talk about Nice Horse for a nanosecond, because Nice Horse is one of my favourite American horses, and he would not give the game up, even though Forever Young repeatedly tried to turn him away. Both horses are fantastic horses, and they will undoubtedly be at the Breeders' Cup at the end of this year.
Not going away, but he's Forever Young towards the line. Forever Young, forever in equine history. He wins for Japan.
Yes, back by popular demand, it is questions from the crowd. If you have a question that you want read out in the next episode of the Racing News, put it in the comment section below. Evan Burke asks, Final Demand was a Cheltenham banker before the DRF. Can you excuse that run? And is 7-2, 4-1 now a fantastic price, or should you avoid it? That is a good question there, Evan. He is my favourite horse in training, and anyone that's watched this channel for long enough will know that. But I don't think he's been at his best this year. He went to Navan for an exceptional chase debut, and then he come down a peg when he went to Limerick for the Faheen Novices Chase, and then he came down another peg when he went to the DRF. Willie Mullins also concurs with this opinion. He thinks that something's been holding him back. He can't find a physical issue with him, but no doubt he has come down from the performances he was putting in last year. He was a brilliant jumper of hurdles last year. He started off being a brilliant jumper of fences, but last time at the DRF, he started jumping a bit sloppy. If he does that at the Cheltenham Festival, he can't win, because if you give away half a length at a fence, it will accumulate throughout the race, and especially over the distance of 3 miles, that will just be absolute curtains. But if there's one man that can get a horse back for Cheltenham, and he proved it with Vautour, it's definitely Willie Mullins. Andrew Lardbeck asks, are there too many non-triers at this time of the year, with the connections seemingly directing one eye at the Cheltenham Festival? Looking at a couple of examples, such as the juvenile race at Naas, and a few other races back in the Winter Millions at Ascot and Windsor. Andrew, as always, that is a very good question. And great minds do think alike, because I have been thinking about putting this into the show somewhere, but now this question allows me not to. There have been a few suspect performances recently, and I think, well, the yards just don't want to put these horses into top class races if they don't have a chance. And the only way that you're going to get prize money back for a horse who was spent 250 grand on or 100 grand on is to win a handicap. But unfortunately, you can't just go in with a string of wins, because you won't win that. So I think yards have been plotting all season. Unfortunately, Andrew, that is the world you live in when you back horses in handicaps. We could also talk about I Know the Way You're Thinking, because where the hell did that performance come from? I'd never seen it before that race. I never seen it after that race. It hasn't emerged since. So to me, it just looks like a complete fluke. As ever, Andrew, thank you for that question. You're an absolute legend in my book. That may be the end of the episode, folks, but stick around, because we have some very exciting news to tell you. If you've not been tracking the community post section on this channel, then you won't know that we are now in partnership with YouTube itself. Yes, we, a pokey little small channel that started in August last year, is now a partner of YouTube, and it is all thanks to you. Without you clicking the like, subscribe and share buttons and watching the content itself, we wouldn't be in a position that we're in now. So from me, the channel and the team behind the scenes, I would just like to extend my greatest thank yous to everyone that has watched the channel, that has been supporting the channel since its birth. You truly are an amazing bunch. And we're currently on 659 subscribers. That is a meteoric rise from where we've come from in August. Now, being a YouTube partner, this channel can now offer you a paid membership. We have two types of memberships. We have the John Bond membership, and we have the Corto Star membership. One is £4 and one is £8. Everything entailed that is in the membership section for this channel. But any money made will go back into making the content in this channel bigger, better and brighter. Some of the interviews that we've wanted to get, we can't get because of money restraints. This channel does have a very limited budget, not even £30. And some of the trainers want far beyond that for an interview. So if you want to support the channel, that is the way that you can do it. I will just say though, with the Corto Star membership, we have a WhatsApp group for all of the big festivals. And I think it's a very good initiative indeed, if you wish to take that up. But I'm not telling anyone to spend their money on anything they don't want to. It's only if you want to support the channel. Also, don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons if you're new here. This channel is growing rapidly, as I've said earlier on in the video, and we won't want you to miss out on a single bit of it. We also have an interview with Oisin Murphy coming up next week, so you definitely don't want to miss that. As for now, I'm Rodders. This is On the Bridle. Until next time, stay safe.